Snodgrass AB here. Now, those folks back on Earth have decided that it would be good for our civilization's morale if the populace got to see what it was like for a full-scale deregulation of an entire alien species. We're going to wipe these guys out, and you're going to enjoy it. Now, some of you may say, isn't it immoral, Mr. AB, to wipe out 8 billion aliens in order to make an hour-long reality show? Maybe. But you forget that these aren't aliens. These are robots. Evil alien robots. And as we all know, robots are immortal. They cannot die. They literally cannot die. They will keep coming at us forever. They will never stop, and they will never cease, and we should probably surrender before they kill us all, which they undoubtedly will. But in the period before they kill us all, we can deregulate the hell out of them. Now, I would like to introduce you to our 4 fine Swiss commanders. These are honorable gentlemen, excellent in fisticuffs. They are riding these armored command units. They are very big. Now, for reference, these are some trees. Look at them, they're pretty beautiful, right? Take you over here. That guy is bigger than the tallest tree on this entire godforsaken planet. And he is one of the smaller cases. Now, one human being sits inside that thing in a 5-star luxury accommodation. It's beautiful in there. Cigar box, view screens, leather chairs. There's also a nuclear warhead, which is undoubtedly giving all of these men cancer right now. We don't tell them about that bit. We let them figure it out. They usually figure it out right about the point when their ACU is self-destructing. We told them that they'd have escape pods. Now, we have Commander Thankwall here. From what I understand, he is an arsehole. You shouldn't trust him. Look at him. Look at that slow-moving bastard. Yeah. This is Pathicus. He is a different model of robot to Thankwall. As you can see, they are very productive. Standing here, waiting. Alright, let's look at someone else. And this is Lyra. From what I understand, she's a pony. And this man, Banda, he is a robot. Not an evil robot, he is one of our robots. From what I understand, he is some sort of node for market forces, but I am calling him Banda. Banda is a fine, honorable Swiss name. He should be proud to have it. Now, Banda here is sending out some space fighters to combat these evil alien space fighters, as one does in situations when space fighters are a problem. Let's have a look at these aliens. We have, do they have names? I'm giving them names. This one's Aiko, because it sounds kind of Chinese. Purple is Chinese, right? Whatever. We have Aiko. We have Lundquist. That's Austrian. You know, the last Austrian who came into my office, peacenik. Peacenik to the core. And a lawyer. It's like the worst of all worlds. This is Rogers. We can remember Rogers. He's British. What was that? Some kind of explosion. Not that I can disapprove of aliens exploiting their own bases. Especially when they're YOR. Now, the YOR are a plague on this galaxy. From the moment we encountered them, we were deregulating them. And from the moment we were deregulating them, we were winning. This man is Arnold. It's kind of funny. I could take him. With or without the machine. Now, as you can see, there's already been some clashes. Bombing runs from these alien fighters are taking place on the things. What are these anyway? Look like some kind of tanks. Did we build those? Oh, look at that. Not very durable. That doesn't look like Swiss work. We probably imported them. Anyway. Now, from what I understand, each of these Swiss commanders is following very different strategies. The Thankwall character is currently going for ridiculous amounts of mining and extraction. He is completely not going to help his team at all while he builds up his huge pile of science buildings. There's many science buildings. It's like the modernizers all over again. They're like, we should learn more science for punching people, except we're going to do it with lasers because we can't understand how to punch people. The science for punching people has never changed in all of our generations. Why don't they understand that? I don't care. Now, this man, Mr. Pathicus, is going for a ground force. Good, honorable tanks, walkers, clankers. Look at these. Look at them. They're solid. Solid. Look at them. They're just waiting. Waiting to spill some robot oil. And, this gentleman, Mr. Lyra, the pony, he is... I don't know what he's going. I think he's building an air force. And air is legitimate. We have not encountered much bad air things. Now, this computer, this Market Forces fellow, he, I don't know. It doesn't really matter anyway, we win. That's how it works. Because we're Swiss. Now, there's been some scuffling going on over here, and the YOR have already established oceanic superiority. They have their submarine fleet here, and from this vantage point, they are simply shelling everything on land. And doing a quite good job at it too. Look, Mr. Lyra has sent over some gunships, and as you can see, they're pretty terrible. Let's all take a moment to mourn for those brave Swiss men and women who just died and fell into the ocean and did no damage, and you see, even now the cruisers are repairing themselves. That's what happens when you put an idiot in charge, man. Look at this. Corpses everywhere. Thousands of them. Blackened, smoking wrecks. Each of them had families. Now here's a strategy I can respect. Mr. Thanquol is building a line of defensive turrets, so that in the event of a massive ground assault, as no doubt will occur, given the fact that we are invading an alien homeworld, these ground defenses will completely annihilate them. Look at them. Expensive bastards. And in order to take the fight to the enemy, he has begun construction of this line of artillery network that you can see here. Now, artillery is a funny thing, because in order to fire it, you have to be a coward. And Switzerland does not enter wars in order to be cowards. We enter wars to become better at wars. And if you are entering a war under the wrong reasons and the wrong pretenses, then why bother with a war at all, really? Why not just not go to war and live in peace and harmony and diplomacy and all that stuff? So, anyway, the point is that artillery crews are cowards because they're not actually making themselves better throughout this process. Artillery crews, under my command, I sent all the artillery crews to the front lines, put them in tanks, put them in walkers, and just send them all out there, get in some good old-fashioned fights, and while the artillery crews were out doing that, I put the real men, the men who already knew how to fight, in charge of the artillery crews. Now, some people said that that was ruining the specialization of the armed forces, and that the frontline combatants had no idea how to fire these artillery cannons, but in the end, that is a lot of robots. Huh. I'm starting to get an appreciation for just how many people died in this battle. Anyway, in the end, isn't it better for a couple of people to die in order for other people to learn how to fire artillery? That's what I thought. Now look at this. This is a ridiculous amount of power banks. These power banks can fuel the planet of Munzinger for how long? 1 billion years. That's a good number. And as we can see, these power banks are far superior to their power banks. Now, one of the big problems of going up against alien races like this is getting shields up is enormously difficult. And from what I understand, people like having shields around them. It stops them from exploding. Can't say I see the appeal myself. I mean, has anyone ever really gone wrong while exploding? Name one person in history who has done the wrong thing by exploding. Now, these shield networks are going to be established in some short order, and they are going to cover us from this unending naval bombardment from these cruisers over here. These cruisers are going to be a thorn in the Swiss's side for some time. They are practically invincible, they have extraordinarily long range, and unless they are stupid enough to walk right by the ocean to allow these short-range tanks to hit them, then there's practically no way to take them out. Tragic, millions of men died. But the metal that those men left in their death can be reclaimed and recovered as valuable resource commodities to build more men. That's how men work. Now, these artillery networks are already underway. You can see they're arcing fire going all the way over here to land on these naval bases. As you can see, they are missing a lot because they are not very good at it. Oh, that was a direct hit. Look at it. Look at a quarter of those shields. Unfortunately, those shields will be recovered almost entirely by the time it gets back. But that's not the point. The point is that Switzerland is hitting its targets. And Switzerland always hits its targets, especially if Director Avey has anything to say about it. Now, amidst all this artillery, you may be saying, Director Avey, what's happening on the front lines? And I honestly couldn't tell you. It just looks like a whole lot of robots are destroying each other all the time, forever. There's bombers flying around. Are they our bombers? No, they're not our bombers. They're destroying our things. We don't actually have an air force or any sort of force, really. But the important thing is that artillery is up, and we are currently massing even more power generators and mass converters, so we will be able to fund ridiculous amounts of military hardware. And military hardware, oh look at that, experimental construction facility. Now, Swiss have a long and honourable history of ridiculously oversized and overpowered super weapons. We've been doing it since before World War I. Wait, there was only one World War. We've been doing it for all World Wars. And we are not going to cease that tradition now. Look at that. That is called the Fat Boy Mark II. From what I understand, it's a faithful replica of the Daiichi. It's a land-class battleship. Sort of drives around. Look at that. Doesn't even care about that paving. Just drives around and shoots everything with cannons. Honourable. Now, the front lines aren't looking too good. We have this man standing around being useless, facing the wrong direction. These shields are being destroyed from this unending shelling. Now, you have to understand that these cruisers are completely badass. As alien cruisers go, I would want to be sailing one of those if I were sailing an alien cruiser. They are all networked to the YOR hyperhub link thing, and they are all shooting thousands and thousands of missiles, which are destroying us all in a slow and unending rain. What do we have to combat them? We don't really have anything. We've got these things going over there. We have this guy getting slaughtered out here. We have bombers and... oh dear. I didn't even notice this. Experimental assault planes. These things are one of the most advanced pieces of military hardware in the galaxy. That is why we have to destroy them. And destroy them we will. Look at that. Beautiful. But of course, these things take their toll. As you can see, there is nothing but scrap and wreckage all around here. Honestly, if I were a different man, I'd be feeling pretty bad about that. But I'm not. We are here to deregulate. And if a couple of buildings have to be blown up and some giant spaceships have to be shot out of the sky, I would call that a Thursday. Now, by this point, we are being hammered pretty hard. The Swiss probably should not have invaded this planet, and if they should have hit it with nuclear weapons beforehand. Wait, we have nuclear weapons? When did that happen? I thought they were banned. Oh wait, that was regulation. Nope, we have nuclear weapons. In fact, we are authorizing the use of nuclear weapons. As you can see, tactical nuclear and nuclear defense silo. It is for the civilian applications only. Do not sue us. I am certain that this will turn the tide of war, as it has turned the tide of every other war in the history of time. Unfortunately, by this point, the defensive line has been pushed back. All these robots, these beautiful, charming robots, have been destroyed or are regrouping back over here. where they are going to be of no use whatsoever. And this commander is being shelled with their artillery, which is now up and running. They have battle cruisers. They have naval fleets. We've knocked out some of their stuff with artillery, but they have... Oh god, look at that. It's beautiful. Why aren't we stealing that? Look at it. It's just destroying everything. There is nothing it cannot destroy. Except for these shields. That is why we are ridiculously overproducing on shields. Now, there's a bit of a story behind this. The Silver Standard came to the Department of Finance and Deregulation, and they told us, you have whatever resources were necessary to take out this planet. We want the end of the YOR, and we want total deregulation achieved within a couple of weeks. So we just started building shields. Didn't know what we were going to do with them. Just piled them up. Hundreds of them. Beautiful things. Whoa. That was kind of intimidating. Anyway, we have nuclear missiles underway. We have thousands of power generators on the way. We have ridiculously oversized and overpriced gunships on the way, and we have armies of fat boys on the way. Now you've got to understand that this thing is the size of a city block, twice as armored. Now if I were a lesser man, I'd be saying that this did not look good. I'd be saying that this fleet outside our base was invincible. I'd be saying that this defensive line is completely unbreakable. And I would furthermore be saying that we may as well surrender because there is no chance for us, oh God, help us. That's what would happen if you had elected, I don't know, those peace guys, whatever they're called, New Delhi Resistance. Hate them. What have they done for us recently? They've done nothing. They would have us not nuking these guys. And you know what would happen if we didn't nuke these guys? Then these, what are they called? AC-1000. It's 1,000 ACs. AC-1000 terror ships would be over Earth right now, blowing everything up. Because that's what the YOR do. They blow everything up. Now, we're getting hit pretty hard. I'm not going to lie. In fact, I'm going to take a moment of silence for all the brave Swiss men and women who are being shelled to death in this battle, and their commanders who are completely ineffectual at supporting them. See these? These are engineers. They don't have actual engineers in them. They were made by engineers to replace engineers on the battlefield. To me, that sounded a bit like cowardice, so I had all the engineers take part in the mobile battlefield engineers. They didn't much like this. They thought that... Oh, that hurt. They thought that the engineer robots were unmanned and did not need a crew, and furthermore, being part of a crew would probably kill them. Did it anyway. Now, believe there's nuclear weapons happening sometime soon. Don't want to miss that. Imagine what that would be like. Missing the nuclear weapons. Right. Ah yes, these are nuclear defense facilities. They are designed to stop nuclear weapons from destroying everything. We are going to use these aerial forces to come in, high and low, take out these defense silos in preparation for a complete thermonuclear Armageddon. I don't think this plan can possibly fail under any circumstances. How did that happen? I didn't even notice that happening. That's kind of impressive. They got an engineer all the way over here and started stealing Lyra's mass resources. They got another one. Anyway, here comes the Air Force. As you can see, it's the pride of the Swiss Army, or Air Force, and they, frankly, cannot lose this. Not at all. Look at them, taking that thing out. Oh god. Flying within the shields means that they don't have to shoot through the shields, which means that they can simply destroy the targets that they wish to destroy. There is no ramifications. What is that? They are switching targets. No. It's still up. And the nuclear missile... Oh, dear. Oh, dear. That can't be good. There's one flying from us and one flying from them. Oh. Oh, goodness. Ladies and gentlemen, I would like to pronounce a moment of mourning for this guy. May God have mercy on his soul. Boom. But, on the plus side, we hit this guy too. And I think you'll agree that our explosion was slightly prettier. Thus it justified the irradiated landscape that destroyed our base and laid waste to our facilities. Nuclear war is terrible, folks. Terrible. But also enlightening. Now, as you can see, this fleet has grown vast beyond all reasonable imagination, and it is frankly destroying everything around here. I don't see any way we can possibly win. We got these shields and we got this artillery, but frankly, they got more artillery. Doesn't really help that these two assistants aren't quite as nuclear equipped as the Thankol is. Kind of stupid name, Thangol. But, on the plus side, they do have the King Cryptor class assault bot. This is directly linked up to that, what's its name, Market Forces. That is directly linked up to Market Forces' control hub. He is controlling this thing directly. Oh, look at that, it's got a little face down there. That seems awfully vain. And giant-ass crown. So yes, combined with these three Daiichi Fat Boy things, I don't see any way that this assault can fail. They simply do not have the resources to combat it. Look at it. They don't have one giant, ridiculously overpriced military piece of expenditure. As far as I can tell, they got nothing. Look at it. We've even got an AC-1000 now. They don't have any ridiculously overpriced piece of military hardware. It's almost as if they were run by a sane defense government. Can't have any of that. Of course, here come the Joint Strike Fighters, taking out these gunships, ridiculously underarmed and equipped. We have the endless artillery barrage going on, but they are hitting directly into this shield network. Like I said, we just overproduce on shields. We just gave them out, like candy. Asked anyone if they wanted a shield, most of them said yes. We gave everyone else shields. Now this man has been shelled for some time. He doesn't seem to be enjoying it. But it's okay, he is a godless robot. Ah, I bet that hurt. Now, there was a nuclear explosion here, wiped out half their fleet. I probably should have shown it to you, but there was godless robots being hit with orbital missiles, and I think we can all agree that that was just as invaluable. Now, with this fleet gone, we have this much smaller, but also a much manlier fleet over here. Oh goodness, there's another nuke. Where is that? Oh, there it is. Yep. As we can all learn from this nuclear missile, you may as well never rebuild anything once it gets nuked, because it will just undoubtedly get nuked again. Oh yes, and that nuclear explosion was that nuclear explosion I was telling you about underneath the commander's cockpit. As I was saying, it must have been quite a surprise. And now he's dead. One of the finest Swiss military minds of our generation. Tragic. Goodness gracious, the frame rate seems to be dropping staggeringly. Can't imagine why. This battle's hardly taking place on any level at all. Now, we have these battleships over here, and these gunships and assorted other hovering devices are taking out the remainders of this cruiser fleet, thus giving us total naval superiority. And would you believe that this is only half done, gentlemen? More nuclear missiles happening over here. God help them. Fightercraft going over the defensive lines. God help them too. Now, the purple robot has been entirely destroyed, and as purple is their race's primary color, I consider that a total victory already. Was that another nuclear explosion? I think it was. I think that man just got nuked again after he got nuked twice simultaneously. I suppose that's what happens if you fight alien robots. You know, in this battle alone, more nuclear missiles have gone off than have gone off in the entirety of human history before now. I don't know how to feel about that. On one hand, I feel kind of proud of us. On the other hand, it wasn't really a record worth breaking. It's just sort of like 2. I can throw around 2 nuclear missiles before breakfast. Like, why is it an achievement to fire 6 or 7 nuclear missiles? It just involves pressing buttons, right? Why hasn't it been done before now? You know what I think? I think it's just... I don't even know what to think. It's like beating a record, and finding out that the only reason the record exists is because no one's ever tried to beat it before now. It's like winning at mediocrity. I don't know, maybe I'm just bitter. Bitter and angry. Now, at this point, these battleships are walking on land. That is right, they are now spider battleships, and they're just going to walk right on across this land bridge and murder everything. Now, when I told the science boys of my idea for spider battleships, they weren't so impressed, but I started putting spiders in the break room until I established my point. And not just a few spiders either, like boxes of them. You know, you can just buy boxes of spiders. I didn't know you could, but you can. Just, you know, you go onto this website, it's called Spiders. And... oh wow. More nuclear missiles. Anyway, you go onto this website called Spiders, and you can just buy spiders, like by the box. It's quite terrifying, really. I don't know where they get all these spiders. And in fact, I'm slightly afraid to know. Now, as you can see, we are currently making a major military advance along here with these various ridiculously overpriced experimental assault units. The artillery barrage is going on all the time, and... yeah. Now, as you can see, the Air Force is trying to take on this naval force. And with the help of this other naval force, of these spider bots, impractical my ass, they could well win. In fact, they're going to. Look at that. Look at it sinking to the bottom of the ocean. Anyway, by this point, we're going to advance straight on to these naval facilities, take them out, and then we may as well just advance on through the rest of these Xeno bases. As you can see, we are building even more shields because they gave us an unlimited budget. Like, what would you do if you had an unlimited budget and you had the blueprints to these shield things? I just build shields all day, and that's what I did. I just said, you know, leave the war behind if we are all covered by shields all the time. Look at that, there's 2 nuclear missiles going into here. Let's watch them. I'd like to see an explosion. I don't want to miss it this time. Now, 2 nuclear missiles. Why would you fire 2 nuclear missiles at the exact same spot? Frankly, I don't understand. Wait, what's that? What the hell was that? Some kind of anti-nuclear missile? What the hell was that? Nuclear missile defense? Why don't we have those? Why do we keep getting nuked and they have missile defenses? Did these generals just not understand the concept of a nuclear missile defense? Look at that! Look at those blast radiuses! And they don't even have any shields at all. What's this unlimited military budget supposed to mean? If these guys don't have shields, they don't have nuclear missile defenses, they don't have ridiculously overpowered super weapons. Like, look at that. That's just a giant brain. That's all it is. It's Market Forces' brain sitting there. Like, why did we build it? I don't know. That's what we do when we have unlimited money. We just build things. Look at it, more nuclear missiles. Anyway, unlimited budget, and all you've got to show for it is blast craters. Look at it, it's gonna get nuked again. I don't even understand. Frankly, I don't even know. You know, if this is what unlimited military spending means, then I think we just need, more military spending. Here we go. 2 nuclear explosions, folks. Look at that. A couple hundred Swiss men just died, including some commander in a very expensive suit. But that's a double mushroom cloud. Like, do you have any idea how decadent that is? Like, that is, I am so ridiculously overpowered at war that I can fire 2 nuclear missiles at the exact same point. Why? Because, I don't know. I'm just going to fire them. I've got 2 nuclear missiles, and I don't think one is going to do the job. So instead, I'm going to fire 2 nuclear missiles and kill everyone. By this point, we have attained total naval superiority, which would be a grand and dandy thing except for all these bombers here. Now, each of these can drop a payload capable of destroying a major Manhattan city block. Luckily, Manhattan belongs to the Napoleons. And as we all know. Anyway, here we go. See, it's exactly the tactics like that. Oh dear. Wait. As you can plainly see, these battlecruisers were only there to take out the nuclear missile defenses, at which point a nuclear missile was launched. Ingenious strategy. And they retaliate with a missile of their own, and rather than them having to launch a brilliant strategy to take out our nuclear missile defenses, we simply don't have any. Oh, there go 2 more nuclear missiles launched at exactly the same spot. Let's just spare a moment for this poor brave man who just rebuilt his base. Boom! And let's just spare a moment for this enormous, ridiculous, oversized and overpowered Air Force, which is about to get nuked. Boom. Some people ask me why I do what I do, which is deregulate everything and anything. Do you really need to ask after watching that? Thing of beauty, gentlemen. Those nuclear missiles cost... Well, let me put it like this. If we spent the amount of money that we used to design, manufacture, and launch those nuclear missiles, say 100 years ago, we would have eliminated poverty back then. In fact, the only reason why we are not spending that much resources to eliminate poverty right now is because we have already eliminated poverty. That's right. Doesn't exist. We wiped it out. Just like we're going to wipe out all these aliens. As you can see, the market forces has finally decided to move out with his ridiculously oversized robots. What is that? Did we design that? That looks like we stole it from the Iconians. It's got banners hanging from it. Banners? What kind of nation builds banners on their robots rather than guns? Every molecule of weight carried by those banners is a molecule not spent on guns. I don't know. Take that to the modernizers. Tell them that they're doing it wrong. I don't reckon it's so hard to do science. I reckon you just need the right attitude. And I've got plenty of it. First, you get ridiculously oversized budgets. Then you spend it all on shields and artillery. And giant overpriced military experiments. And then, after that point, I don't think you need to do anything else. Oh, he just got nuked again. Poor devil. That is why I am proposing the motion. Well, actually, I can't propose motions. I'm an ex-president. I am proposing the motion, or getting one of you to do it, that we should invest in training our commanders how to use the nuclear missile defenses that I have been informed that we have. Because at the moment, these commanders don't know how to use them. And they are getting nuked and nuked and nuked again, and it's like some sort of Japanese, Chinese, American, Napoleon ocean thing. Like, there was one nuke that needed to happen, taking out that fleet right there. These nukes didn't really need to happen. They were just sort of, you know, seeing if we could get an advantage. That's a lot of things. Anyway, these Swiss Spider battleships are currently holding position here while we are building up even more of them. Oh, here we go. Another nuke hits there. Another nuke is going to hit slightly north from it. Oh god, right in the robots. Hit on all three King Cryptors, and none of them is even scratched. Look at that. See, we need more of those. We don't need nuke defenses, we just need more robots that can walk through nuclear weapons and be unharmed. Anyway, we've currently mostly destroyed this particular YOR hub, mostly through vigorous applications of shells. We don't need nuclear weapons, we just need lots and lots and lots of lasers. Deregulated, haha. Now while that's happening, more spider bots are crawling on board the shore. We have these Universal Colossus assault bots. Terrifying. They are bigger than your house. This is bigger than your house. This is bigger than your car. And this is bigger than, well, the upper atmosphere. Oh dear. Anyway, at this point, Thanquol is constructing nuclear weapons defenses on behalf of these allies who are consistently getting nuked, including shields, because there's also artillery coming down all over the place. He's quite a charitable man. Now, if he was really a true friend, would he have not constructed these nuclear weapons defenses before they got nuked half a dozen times? I don't think so. I think he knew exactly what he was doing. He had a plan for this, and his plan was to... Oh hey, look, there's stuff happening over here. Another nuclear weapon. Let's watch that. Will it land, or will it get shot down by these nuclear weapon defenses? Oh, there it goes. Pointless. Disappointing. Here are those Universal Colossus. They are so... whoa. They're so surrounded by those gunships that you can hardly see. Kind of beautiful to watch them fall down. What is that? That's an air transport? What would you want to transport and why? Why would you do that? Why would you build one of those? Anyway, by this point we have more nuclear missiles landing and more nuclear missiles launching. We've managed to take out the upper half of this base, and in exchange they are going to fire more nuclear missiles at us. It's okay though, we are Swiss. We have taken, how many nuclear weapons? There's like, that crate has been made like 5 times, 6, 7, 8, 9. We have taken 10 nuclear missiles over the past 43 minutes. We can take another one. And I don't think it will set us back many. Here we go. It looks like that nuclear defense silo was completely pointless. Waste of time. Or slightly improperly positioned, or the Thanquol simply did not choose to build a nuclear defense missile from it. Which, when you think about it, is probably a jerk move. Anyway, he's going to respond in kind. You know, if you can't or don't feel like protecting your allies, you may as well nuke your enemies. That's what I always say. New motto for the new generation. Now, let's just spare a moment to watch these nuclear missiles, because frankly they are the only thing that is keeping me here talking to you people. If I had my way, I'd be out there, dropping more nuclear missiles right now. There it goes. I don't understand this whole Hitler bunker thing. See? Look at that. How can that be inherently wrong in any way? Like, some sort of moral decision was made and nukes were dropped, I think. More nuclear weapons. We're taking it on the chin. Like, there's supposed to be this thing about radiation. We don't care about that. We're Swiss. We're just standing up to the nukes. Not letting them boss us around. You can't let nuclear weapons boss you around, otherwise you will become beholden to the nuclear weapons. Here it comes. Thing of beauty, gentlemen. Thing of evil alien robot beauty. Boom. Anyway. At this point, the Swiss have finally managed to turn the tables, and are engaging this colossal air force directly. These spider bots didn't do so well. But we are currently building giant robot Tyrannosaurus Rexes which breathe fire. I'm not kidding, ladies and gentlemen. Those are the things that we are actually building. Again, people say, why not just build a giant robot like these and add a lot of guns to them? Or why not just build a walking battleship? Surely that makes more sense than attaching a flamethrower to a giant robot T-Rex. And they told me that my other ideas were better and more sane in comparison. I tell them. And I tell them square and solid that I will simply build whatever comes to mind, and if they don't like it, then... well, if they don't like it, then I will be the one at the end of the day with the giant robot T-Rexes, which breathe fire. Now, I can't even tell what's happening here. Let's just spare a moment and all look at the light show. Look at that much metal. That is enough metal to build a major capital city, or a colony ship. And while these ships are flying around, and bullets are going everywhere, and lasers are going everywhere, Spider Battleship walks on through. That's what I'm talking about, people. That's design. That's a masterpiece, really. That is why we do things. Here they come. Look at them. Giant robot T-Rexes. They're not T-Rexes. They lied to me! Where are my T-Rexes? They called it the Cyberrhinus Rex, and it's not a T-Rex. It's some sort of walking stegodon thing. Where's my T-Rex? Oh, I'm angry. They think they can just give me anything they want. They think that I'm some kind of time-wasting jerk, just coming up with whatever comes into my head, and they think they can just give me any sort of giant robot with guns attached. See, a T-Rex wouldn't be standing for this shit. That just got shot to hell, and it's going to collapse into a big pile of molten metal right there. And that's going to be because it was not a T-Rex. That's going to be because it was, in fact, some sort of thing. I don't even know or care. It was like Stegotropolis. Stegotropolypes. Look at it. Well, I got the fire right at least. Alright. You see, I just need to be in charge again. I need to stop worrying about this India thing and these other things and all this sort of command stuff. I just need to be in charge, and then we will have our giant robot T-Rexes, and they won't be sort of facsimiles like these. Look at that. Look at all that roasted meat. It was a giant cyborg T-Rex too. Because if I was in charge, we'd be doing this shit right. I can tell you that much. Oh. We would not be dealing with this many Sol AC-1000 Terra planes. I would not be this terrified right now if I was in charge. I would be happy. Happy and angry. In equal measures. Happy because I would be a Swiss man. A free Swiss man capable of deregulating the galaxy. Angry because there would be things that I had to deregulate and I could not work on my giant Cyberrhinus T-Rex. Let this be a lesson to you, ladies and gentlemen. Next time you think of crossing the Director AB and giving him some sort of Stegodon instead of his Doomsday Walker that he requested, well, he'll get the Doomsday Walker anyway. And guess who is going to be considered a regulatory asset? Not me. Can't stand regulation. Look at that. How many people do you think were, like, down there? 100? 50? 150? I don't know. All I'm telling you is that it's a lot. Anyway, by this point, Market Forces has expanded to cover almost everything. We have Commander Pathicus, who is still sort of sitting around these expensive pieces of military hardware in his base and getting nuked. He's good at both of those things. And, Griff, who is building up an air force, and is proving quite effective in taking out their air force. I believe that's the purpose of having air forces. So they can fight. So they can fight while the real men get down on the ground with fisticuffs, or their giant robot fisticuffs, and just do the battle properly. I don't know what to tell you people. While this has all been happening, these alien robots have built what is called a Darkanoid. Some kind of flying saucer. Oh, nuclear weapon. I swear I felt it. I don't know. It's a Darkanoid. It's like Independence Day, except it's going to murder us, rather than we murdering it. Oh! Yep, there it goes. Giant death laser, right in the center of that thing. Unstoppable. That's what I'm told. But we have these battleships over here, which are going to shoot this robot commander. And we... Look at that! Giant death lasers, just like I told you. Why don't we have those? What, we do? Why don't I have those right now? I am being told that I apparently do have those right now, and the only reason I do not think I have them is because they are not in my direct line of sight. You know what I think that is? I think that is excuses. I think that if I had one of those, the world would look very different to what it does right now. Look at him, he's hunkering down. Force fields. Like I said, if you got money, force fields. Why not? And if you got money, giant flying saucer laser things. Anyway, it's an escape pod. Yes, that AI CPU has managed to make it out of there on the escape pod. And we still have this thing to deal with. But, on the plus side, it looks like Greater Switzerland has managed to push its way past the robot lines, and we are closing... Oh, jeez, fell down. And we are closing in on the last alien base. And we just took another nuclear missile to the jaw. It's okay, though. This thing just won't stop firing. There it goes. Haha, look at it. Bam. Anyway, they currently have... Oh, they've got some of these Universal Colossus things as well. Now, is it just me, or... More nuclear weapons? There goes another one. Is it just me, or does this whole thing seem a bit excessive? Like, this is just one planet, and we've currently turned this entire continent to molten slag. Here we go. That is the last YOR commander who just got nuked 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 times. Some people would say that is overkill. Some people would say that it is morally contemptible. I'm Director AB. Vote for me, and you will see multiple instances of 5 nuclear explosions at once, with giant T-Rex things, which are not real T-Rexes, advancing through the smoke and breathing fire. I think that that is an unassailable election campaign. I think there is simply no candidate or party or combination of candidates that will launch 5 nuclear missiles, fire it at the same spot, and then march a giant robot through it. I just don't think that happens. That's the end. We conquer the planet. Billions of people died. But billions of robots died. And at the end of the day, the Department of Finance and Deregulation exists to kill giant robots. I don't know what else I can tell you. That's what we do it well. Yeah, but knowing my luck, you're probably going to vote in the damn supercomputer next election anyway. Alright, goodbye. This is Director AB, Department of Finance and Deregulation. Good luck. There is simply no candidate or party or combination of candidates that will launch 5 nuclear missiles, fire it at the same spot, and then march a giant robot through it. I just don't think that happens. That's the end. We conquer the planet. Billions of people died. But billions of robots died. And at the end of the day, the Department of Finance and Deregulation exists to kill giant robots. I don't know what else I can tell you. That's what we do it well. Yeah, but knowing my luck, you're probably going to vote in the damn supercomputer next election anyway. Alright, goodbye. This is Director AB, Department of Finance and Deregulation. Good luck.